Founding partner of N&N Advocates, and she will be making the presentation today. So we are thrilled to have you here, Madam Rita, to take us through your findings, your observations, and how the operations of the Insurance Appeals Tribunal. Maybe for members, the Insurance Appeals Tribunal is established under Section 134 of the Insurance Act that gives it the mandate to review decisions of the Insurance Regulatory Authority. So allow me invite Madam Rita, the chairperson, to make her presentation. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Good morning once again. I'm very, very pleased to be here today. All protocol observed. I feel really at home. Having been an insurer before, there are so many familiar faces here that sometimes when some of you appear at the tribunal, it can be difficult. Like you are one of us, now you're here grilling us. I'm like, yeah, we have to do business. But anyway, that was on a lighter side. I'm really very, truly humbled and pleased to be here. And I'd like to thank IRA for having made this happen, to giving us the opportunities. Thank you so much. I'll have Dr. Kadnabi, our stakeholder as the Insurance Appeals Tribunal. Before I start, I would like to introduce the members of the tribunal so that you can know the faces. I know some of you have met, but some I haven't met. And I request them to come in front. Yeah, this is our moment as the tribunal. Kindly come at the front. We have only 30 minutes. And IRA is known to be a stickler for time, so we must utilize this time. On my left, I'll start with the left, is Dr. Bale, John Bale. And just a brief about Dr. John Bale. He's a senior lecturer at the School of Economics in Makerere University, and is a research fellow of the EFD Mark Center, which is part of the global network of economics research centers supported by SIDA. He has a long CV. But allow me to stop there. He has been a member of the tribunal from the start. Kindly welcome with me Dr. John Barry. On my immediate right is a man who I don't even need to introduce very much. Many of you know him. He's a seasoned insurer. Mr. Kotha is a member of the tribunal, and he holds a bachelor's of science degree in statistics and economics from Makerere University. He's an associate of Chartered Insurance Institute, and he most importantly worked with the Insurance Regulatory Authority for over 20 years till his retirement. So he brings a wealth of experience on the team. Also allow me, his CV is very long. But allow me to stop there. Next to Mr. Kotha is Miss Harriet Navasirye Paminda Kasirye. Harriet is a lawyer. She has a bachelor's degree from Makerere University. She has an LLM as well. But besides being a lawyer, she's a seasoned marketer. She has vast experience in marketing, telecommunications and information systems. She brings also that side to the tribunal. And next to Harriet is Ms. Salome Luwaga, Mayinja Luwaga. Ms. Salome also worked in the industry for very many years as the company secretary of SWICO. But currently she's a partner, a managing partner of Sempasa, Luwaga and 𝑪𝑬𝑶'𝑺 Advocates. She's an accredited mediator and arbitrator, so she brings that skill to the tribunal as well. Salome is a member of Uganda Law Society and East Africa Law Society with vast experience, like I have said. So ladies and gentlemen, and me, I've been introduced as the chairperson. So these are the members of the tribunal who preside over your disputes. As you can see, it's a very competent team, very well balanced, very fair, I believe. And please join me in thanking them for a job well done. All right, let's dive right in. I've introduced the members. This is just the overview of my presentation. We'll be talking about the tribunal's role in a broader context. I'll also be highlighting to you briefly the nature of appeals we've had and what our findings have been, but most importantly, why we are here. How are these findings going to inform industry reforms? Because I believe that's why we as a tribunal exist. I've introduced to you the members, just a brief about the composition. It's regulatory that the members have professional qualifications and experience that is relevant to the industry, like you have seen. We have someone with CII, we have advocates, we have an economist, yeah, all those skills we believe are quite relevant to the industry. And it's regulatory that at least 2 members of this tribunal are women. It's gender sensitive. And yes, thank you, Mariam. We are appointed by the Minister of Finance, and the chairperson is the person qualified to be a judge of the High Court. We conduct our business on an ad hoc basis. We don't sit every day. So unless we have business, that's when we convene and do the business. Our jurisdiction is set out in section 134 and 137 of the Insurance Act. And basically, what we do, we have appellant jurisdiction from the decisions of the Insurance Regulatory Authority. So any person who is aggrieved by that decision, you have 30 days to appeal to the Insurance Appeals Tribunal. And if you see, the IRA decisions always have that at the bottom. If you're aggrieved, please appeal to the tribunal. So on appeal, what do? We can uphold the decision of the authority. We can reverse it. We can revoke it. We can vary it, or we can remit it back to the authority for reconsideration with or without guidance. That is our mandate as the Appeals Tribunal. So what are the appealable decisions of the IRA? They could be Regulatory or supervisory decisions, in our experience so far, there have been very few. We've had like 1 or 2 against, this can be investigations, suspensions, revocation of licenses, winding up, penalties. Those are mainly from you, the licenses. But the bulk of what we are handling right now are decisions of the IRA Complaints Bureau by the insurance companies and policy holders. These, we believe, will go a long way in improving public trust in insurance, as I'll explain further. So again, just a brief on our vision, mission, and values, because it's very important that you know what we believe in as the Insurance Appeals Tribunal. Our vision statement is very, very simple. It's to be a model tribunal in insurance dispute resolution, to foster public trust and inspire confidence in the insurance sector. As you may be aware, our sector has a lot of trust issues from the public. Every time you introduce yourself as an insurer, there are some negative reactions that you would have, at least in my experience. 1 or 2 people will tell you, oh, I took insurance and they did this to me, and I'm always the biggest ambassador. It's always a teaching moment for me. So we want, through the tribunal, through providing a platform to people to come and have their grievances handled as an independent body, we believe that will go a long way in inspiring confidence in the sector. And our mission statement is to provide the insurance sector, with a specialized, efficient, accessible, and transparent dispute resolution mechanism. And our values, we are very independent, we are very professional, we believe in doing things very, very professionally. Our integrity, I believe, is unquestionable. I can emphasize this on integrity, that be sure if you come to the tribunal, you're not going to compromise us in any way, at least for as long as I'm the chairperson. I can give you that guarantee. No compromise. You get a decision that is fair. You may not agree with it. That is expected. We don't agree all the time. But the decision will be fair, balanced, well-reasoned, and not in any way compromised. One of our values is accountability, and I'd like to thank the CEO again, because this is part of the accountability to you, the insurance sector, of what we are doing, because in a way you're funding our activities. And we believe in teamwork as well. So we run on that theme of fostering trust and confidence in the insurance sector. About the business, what we have so far done from inception, inception being 2022 to now, we have handled so far a total of 51 appeals. The first years were really inception years, that's 2022, 2023, but we are seeing an increase in the number of appeals in this year specifically. We have so far had 25 appeals. And out of these 51 appeals, we have had 41 concluded. Our decisions are available to all of you. For those who are familiar with ULI, Uganda Law Information Institute, it's online. We try to upload our decisions there. Kindly take a look and see what we have done. So the 10 are at various stages of the hearing, and they will be concluded. The subject matters of the appeals we have so far received is as diverse as the insurance products you offer. But the top 3 disputes are around group life and motor, comprehensive and medical claims. Those are the 3. We are still really very young, because from 51 you can really barely pick trends, but at least we saw that group life, we've had that about 10 disputes around that, and 8 and so on. What are the observations we have made from the appeals we have so far handled? And I think this CEO and members is the reason why we are here, I believe, is to pick out observations and we see how we can run with them. Number 1, we've seen vague policy documents. We are aware that the policies are approved by the IRA, but we have seen documents that are even archaic in English, that even the insurers themselves, when you tell them read this word, they cannot break it down for you. So this is a challenge to you. Go back and do a policy audit. Some are ambiguous. You have clauses that are not aligned. You have contradictions in the policies. You know, on one side it's a benefit, on the other side it's an exclusion. So it fuels the dispute. So the challenge here would be for us to go back and do some policy audits. Your legal teams should get busy before you take these policies for IRA approval, because there are many. We can imagine, the beauty is that some of us have also been in the industry, so we are aware that this can be a lot of work, but it is something that must be done, because the policy is the key contract, it's the key document. It's where everything begins, at least legally. And at the tribunal, at that point, we are handling the legal issues, policy interpretation. Yeah, so that needs to be noted. Then we have seen vague claims processes. And this leaves the policy holder quite confused. We had a case of an injury case where there's a PTD, permanent total disability, and like of the claims and payouts that need to go to the person. But these are not advised. Then at the end, I'd like to challenge all of us as insurers. Statistics, actually, I always tell people, insurers pay claims. And we are also aware that, is it 40% of those claims are fraudulent? We follow the statistics. But sometimes you can see a claims process which can be bad faith. We see that frustration the other way around. Yeah? So we really, we have noted that. Then we've had instances of a lengthy claim and there's no maybe dispute and back and forth and appointment of 2 years. Yeah? So that alone brought a lot of disagreement. So we just need to be mindful, and again, like on how it works, it would have gone along, because but the policyholder is not aware. Ladies and gentlemen, on investigations and assessments, in our experience as the tribunal, this has been a key area of contention. If I must maybe put a percentage on it, it must be like 50%, just issues surrounding this area. And for the loss assessors and investigators in the room, if there are any, kindly please take this feedback. We had noted the habit of having endless investigations on injuries, but we are happy that the regulator issued a reminder, because someone gets an injury, go to this doctor for assessment, they give you 20%, the other one gives you 10%, there's a 5%. That we had noted, but I think it's being done, Mr. CEO. I believe that is going to reduce. We have seen instances also where there's an internal loss assessor appointed, they go and investigate, they make a report, then there's an external insurance on how that process can be handled. We have noted that the quality of the reporting of the investigators is low. What do we rely on? IRA many times has come in now to appoint an external assessor to try to bring objectivity in the process. But please, assessor, to try to bring objectivity in the process. But please be very precise on your recommendation as an assessor, because we are reading these reports cover to cover to come to a decision. And at that point, as the appeals tribunal, it's hard for us now also to say, now bring another assessor, you know? So there's that, and some reports even lack just the basic documentation, like photos. All the photos are not clear. And these are fueling. Who is that in the photo? And we are spending time trying to analyze. You know, the photos don't have a time stamp on them. You can't even make sense of this photographic evidence. And the insured is saying, no, this is a superimposed photo. And you're like, a good investigator, really, bare minimum, make sure that the evidence you're presenting to the insurer, whether to pay this claim or not, is quite very, very clear, so that it doesn't cause confusion. We have also noted some lack of expertise in the process of investigating specialized claims like fire. You know, we've had quite a number of fire policies, and the investigator comes and says, no, this fire was caused by this, but you can't say for sure it was. Because when you ask them, what is your expertise in investigating such a claim? Of course, we are aware that these skills may not be available in the industry because they are highly specialized, but then what conversation can we have? Because sometimes you're caught up in a catch-22 situation in terms of coming to a conclusion on whether this was a deliberate act or not, and the claim is big. Maybe as insurers, we may need maybe to invest some more in either outsourcing these skills that we don't have. But some of these fires may not even be that big, but you just see an investigator coming to a conclusion that is not evidence-based. They lack the skill to come to that conclusion. But we have also seen some assessors calling themselves assessors, but they write an assessment claim. You know, I don't want to pinpoint. I'm trying to balance, because some people may feel attacked. But you get maybe an agricultural risk, and an agronomist is writing the report of the findings. but they are not licensed by IRA. When you ask them, how did you come to investigate this claim? Are you aware? Because now that becomes just a point of dispute. Like I said, I think I've mentioned this, where 2 assessors are appointed. Just facilitate this meeting as insurers to synchronize the reports and make sense of them, especially where there is conflict, before it escalates into a dispute. We have encountered issues with the appointment of loss assessors out of jurisdiction. The claim has happened in Kenya, and you have a Ugandan loss assessor going to assess, then there's a Kenyan one, then there's, we are aware that maybe it should be jurisdiction-based, that the Kenyan assessor is the one who assesses this report and it's relied on, but it's not very clear. It's not very clear. But another thing we've encountered is the disclosure of these assessment reports to the policyholders. The claim happens, assessors are appointed, insurer rejects the claim, but the policyholder is in the dark of the contents of this report. Then the policyholder also appoints their own assessor. They are not agreeing with the insurer's loss assessment report. They appoint their own. Now, whose report do you go with? Yeah? So we believe that insurers should sit and discuss the findings of these reports. If possible, give the policyholder a copy of their report so that they know what exactly is causing the issue. We encountered this also with the risk survey reports. Yeah, like as part of the underwriting process, there's a risk survey, and things are noted in the risk survey report, but the policyholder is not aware. And this risk survey report required them to put some risk mitigation measures. And then at the point of dispute, the insurer is saying, no, the risk survey said this, but you didn't do it. And the policyholder is like, but I wasn't aware that this was in existence. We have also noted or experienced just poor customer service handling at the claims process, where there's just lack of responsiveness. The insured comes with emails. I wrote to them. I went to their office. They refused to see me, and they have evidence, by the way, because that's what we always ask, where is the evidence? Just don't make these allegations. And they have the emails. And you wonder why they were not attended to. We had a situation where the claims manager said, like, I will not even talk to you. I will not talk to you. For me, what the loss assessor has said is the truth. They are my eyes and ears. Yeah, I don't want to talk to you. And the client was so frustrated. You know, like they come to the tribunal, cry, collapse. Okay, of course, sometimes we have to know whether they are antiques. No, they just want to win our sympathy. But sometimes you can't help. Say, but really, why didn't you respond to this email? Why didn't you just listen to this man out? Yeah? So this just further erodes public trust. By the time these people come, they're like, you see, insurers are just thieves. You know, they don't want to pay our claims. They could be maybe 20%. Maybe, Mr. CEO, you can give us the statistics. How many of the claims are paid and how many go into dispute? It could be just even 2% of that, but they can go and preach the bad message of insurance. How am I doing on time? I think I'm okay. Having observed all that, that's what we have so far observed. Like I said, it's still early days to pick trends and what, but we believe that at least that can start the conversation. So how can these findings inform reforms and insurance practice? like I've said, let's go back for policy wording and interpretation. Let's go back and identify these ambiguities, yeah, and unclear policy terms. Sort them out. Your legal team should be busy. They really should be busy. The policies are many, we know. Sometimes we just copy and paste. Sometimes they are group policy wording. Sometimes, you know, we are aware of all these things, but we believe that it's doable. Also, the claims handling practices rather, those that are unfair and unreasonable, leading to disputes, need to be handled and improved. We are aware that there's a complaint. I think insurers are required to have a complaint dispute resolution policies and handling. I was even thinking, can we have like an industry like concerted effort on just client service handling? Yeah, maybe UIA can look into it, because some of these issues don't even need to go into dispute if they are handled well, if we put the customer at the center of our practice. Disclosure and transparency. Insurance is very technical. We need to just be mindful that we communicate. Yeah, there's sometimes a disconnect, as we know, between the selling and what the actual is. You know, you can't sell a life policy, you promise all this stuff without explaining to the policyholders exactly what is embedded in these policies. So that is one area, again, that is driving disputes and needs to be handled. We'll also identify areas where insurers are not complying with regulatory requirements, and these will inform regulatory reforms and enhanced oversight. Like I said, these observations on an annual basis are compiled and are shared with the IRA. So what we believe that the IRA will digest the information and either have further discussion around policy reforms or guidelines or regulation, and all these, like I said, are aimed at improving the public confidence in our sector. So data-driven insights we'll share. We'll get the trends and issues, and we'll share this with the Insurance Regulatory Authority. We'll identify best practice and highlight effective approaches to policyholder treatment and claims handling, like I have said. Consumer protections findings will inform consumer protection measures and enhance disclosure requirements and policyholder rights. But most importantly, we shall continue, like I said, accountability. We shall hold, through our findings, we shall hold our players accountable. We always have sometimes, not always, but sometimes we have a section in our rulings, which is obiter dictum. It may not be part of the dispute, but we give some guidance. This client wasn't handled well. Please make sure that this doesn't happen again. So what are the benefits of reforms as I conclude? We believe that these reforms will improve policyholder trust. Like I said, we get feedback from some of our users. They're like, we didn't even know this exists. At least we have somewhere to go, and they are listening to us. They are very happy about that. So we thank you so much for having had the foresight to ensure that the Insurance Appeals Tribunal is in existence. We've started that journey to help also industry reputation, and this will lead to improved industry practices. We need our reputation to be clean. Of course, there will always be people who just not agree with things, but at least we want to stop that insurers are thieves. Insurers don't pay. Insurers pay. Yeah, and we are here, we are providing a listening ear to you. Yeah. So reforms will also lead to more effective dispute resolution mechanisms, and maybe ultimately to reduce the number of appeals and the very existence of the appeals tribunal. Then if you're doing everything right and there's no business for the tribunal, that shows that we are, as an industry, we are putting our policyholders at the center of our practice. Like I also said, the benefit of this is really a better regulatory framework. We'll inform the regulator on those pain points, and this, we believe, is going to be responded to through enhanced regulatory oversight and strengthening of our industry. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, from my presentation, you can see that our tribunal findings, because many of you could have been wondering, what do they do? What are they all about? The tribunal findings will provide valuable insights into industry practices. If you see a new directive coming up, it could be tied to our findings in that particular area. And this will promote greater transparency, accountability, and policyholder protection. By leveraging on these insights, we believe that this industry that we all love and believe in will improve its practices, enhance policyholder trust, and demonstrate a commitment to excellence. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for listening to me, and let's take this industry to a higher level. We've encountered people who are just amazed that the insurance industry has a tribunal of its own to handle its disputes. To the CEOs here who have not come to the tribunal, please come pay us a visit. We are open, we have a secretariat. You can just come and yes, we are found at 𝑪𝑬𝑶'𝑺 on 7th floor. You can come and we have a chat. You can come and see our decisions. We have a registrar there who will be ready to receive you. But even if you call me, I'll come. We are responsive. We want to serve you. We want this industry to shine. So that is where we are found, and that's our contact information. Thank you so much for listening to me, and thank you, IRA, once again for giving us the opportunity to present this distinguished group. And thank you, Hajat, my president of Women in Insurance. She told me that, Rita, I don't wake up early in the morning, but for you, I came. I thank you so much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Should I stay here for the Q&A?
Thank you so much, Rita, the chairperson of the Insurance Appeals Tribunals. Members, let's give a big round of applause to Rita for the incredible presentation and the insights of the checks and the hidden areas that we don't see as we sit behind our desks. So Rita, thank you so much for highlighting the issues to do with the policies not being clear. I think that's very critical that we take that feedback. And also in terms of the turnaround for the investigations, it's also key that we ensure that the investigations are conducted in a timely manner to ensure that we build the confidence of our different stakeholders. So members, I am going to open the floor for questions. We'll take the questions, then I'll invite the chairperson to make her responses. The floor is open. Okay. you kindly introduce yourself and where you're coming from, and then you can highlight your question.
Yes, good morning. Moses Joshua Muyomba, work with ICA Group and the president of Uganda Insurance Agents Association. Thank you, Rita, for the presentation. And also applaud all the CEOs here. Because if it's only 51 cases handled, of all the million policies we underrate, it's a good mark. You deserve a clap for that. Rita, you didn't talk about how many cases escalated to the courts after the tribunal. Second one is, at least you didn't hear about us as intermediaries, because most of the cases were about mis-selling, and I'm happy to see that my members were not mentioned here that there was a case of mis-selling to the policy holders. So brokers here, agents, I'm representing them. I think we deserve a clap. There's no case about mis-selling. The issue is all about policy wording. We have lawyers in-house here. They normally say, ignorance of law is no excuse, and some clients need duty of care. So I don't know, yeah, you can come up with a policy document, but sometimes it's not easy to interpret every wording in it. I remember there's a case which I was handling. There was any death which is accidental is catered for, but any death out of accident is not. So the client was just cancelling the contract because of that. She wanted an interpretation. What is any other death which is not accidental? I told her natural cause, because she didn't go for medicals, so she never understood that. So I think we may not write much into the policy wording, policy document and interpretation. So this goes back to the policy holders and maybe us insurance companies to communicate, to keep the communication flowing. Thank you. Maybe lastly, it was about, we also didn't mention how many cases stay at the appeals, rather at the appeals desk of IRA that don't escalate into the tribunal. We need to know that information. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, members. As we are raising the questions, let's try and be brief so that we can take as many as possible. Any other questions from, there's one this side. Farida, there's one this side. Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much for that presentation. Just one question on the comment on the fraudulent cases. I think we're given a percentage of 40%. And that startled me. So I just want to understand how this has been established, because I wasn't aware that 40% of the claims that we pay are actually fraudulent. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Okay, any other questions before I invite Rita to respond? Okay, if there are no other questions. Okay, there's one there.
Thank you very much. My name is Samson Oyagi. I work as a loss adjuster. I do investigations as well. And I've actually appeared before the tribunal. And I believe my investigations were upheld. Now, fraudulent claims, I think that is a very serious issue. What I want to know is, has the tribunal encountered a fraudulent claim? And if so, what is the mandate of the tribunal in dealing with the fraudulent insured? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Let me invite, we still have questions? Okay.
I would like myself, I'm Barry Sharma. I'm the investigator as well as the loss adjuster. So sometimes we feel that police support is very much necessary in the investigation, and we can save a lot of money, and the dispute can be resolved on IRA level or maximum on the insurance tribunal level. So when these claims are being paid, which is not admissible actually, so they increase the premium rate. And for the penetration, we should work on it, it will reduce certainly the premium rates. That is my thing. And we should make a use of the police desk of IRA. I request to the big man, please support us on that one so we can do our work very nicely, sir. Thank you.
Let's take the last question from Hajat.
Thank you very much, Rita. I'm very excited. I have a question and an observation. My question may be answered by Rita or CEO or anyone. We had a conference, Ozai, last week, and the biggest challenge in the market is still the trust deficit or the trust gap in insurance. Rita, I don't know what more you can do to ensure that you actually bring a close to the trust deficit. And CEO, I don't know what it is that we have to do as insurers, because for the last 43 years I've been here, it is a song, trust deficit, trust gap. So what more can we do? The other one is an experience. My name is Hajat Green. I do sit on public boards. In that event, I'm a customer on the other side to the insurance industry. I have two experiences. The first one is one of the agencies submitted a claim. They were paying premium for a very long time. They had a claim. And the first letter that came in when they submitted a claim was from a lawyer, a very big lawyer. Says, no, you don't have to do this. There was no letter from the company, the insurance company. And this is not a story because I'm a board member. And they called and said, Mama Hajat, you're an insurer? You see this? So it was a lawyer, big lawyer, who wrote, threatening even the client. The other one is very recent and is still on our desk. They had money that was swept back. You know, when you allocated money, funds, and you don't use them, they are swept back. And they said it is an insurer who delayed in sending us 𝑦𝑬𝑬𝑚 invoice. And I said, which insurer? They gave me the name. And I said, no, it can't be, because that's a very good insurer. I said, Mama, we are even blacklisting them. And I saw that insurer in this room. So, yes, yes, I saw that insurer in this room. I'll give you, I'll not tell you what the agencies are because you know yourself. But if you delay to send an invoice, you know, when a client asks, I don't know what message you are sending. Thank you very much. You may respond. And that insurer, when you see me coming to whisper to you, you know it is you.
Thank you so much. Rita, I'm just going to give you just 2 minutes to respond to the key questions that came out. Some were just comments, so let's respond to the key issues that came out, the questions.
Thank you so much for the questions. Question number one was how many cases have escalated to the High Court. I think I forgot to mention that our decisions are appealable to the High Court within 30 days. Our decisions are appealable to the High Court within 30 days. I don't have the statistics per se, because many times when they appeal, the record of proceeding, because that's the first point of appeal. So I can say offhand, ongoing actively. You reminded me to the underwriting, and then when the claim comes, the insurer is not aware. They don't put in at the broker side, and there were issues with the underwriting of this particular asset. So the insurer is underwriting on behalf, because the insurer sometimes needs to go and do the assessment, the risk assessment. But that was only one. Maybe that's why I didn't highlight it. ignorance of the law is no defense. You cannot break down all the policies. Yeah, that is true. But we need, like I said, insurance is very technical. Many times, by the way, we've had instances where the policyholder only looks at their policy when they have a claim. Sometimes they don't even get it. They say the insurance company didn't give it to me. They are just not, they're that reluctant. But when it comes to the dispute, we are holding them accountable to these clauses in a policy which they are seeing for the first time. We have to make sure that the policy holders get these policies, even in soft copy. In soft copy, send it to them so that we complete the cycle. Like I said, that is the insurance contract. Complaints Bureau, how many disputes have they handled and how many come to us? I think we need to have a conversation with the Complaints Bureau so that we align the statistics, because what I presented is what came to us, but I believe what is being handled downstream must be very big. But the Complaints Bureau is here. They will be able to give you that information. I think at this point I want to withdraw the 40% fraudulent claims. It must have been an overestimate, but I'm aware, at least when I was still in active practice, we had some statistics. It could be untrue. The regulator can further expound on it, but I think it was around 20%. We know there is fraud, really. We know that, we are aware. Has the tribunal encountered a fraudulent claim, and how do you deal with a fraudulent insurer? Ladies and gentlemen, just allow me 2 minutes. I know IRA with time, but just let me borrow 2 minutes of your time. Yes, by the time the dispute comes to us and there are allegations of fraud, for the lawyers in the room, you know that fraud has to be strictly proved. The standard is higher. It's almost beyond reasonable doubt. That's why the challenge is on the investigators to make sure that by the time you're alleging fraud, it's almost 95% fraudulent. So sometimes you can have a feeling, but you cannot deal with feelings. We need evidence that these are fraudulent claims, and we give our rulings accordingly. The comments by Hajat, I think, will be answered by the CEO on trust deficit. I wish Hajat that the tribunal had been invited for OSAI. We would have demonstrated that we have started the journey on building public trust through the tribunal. I think it would have been a very good learning, at least Uganda, as Uganda, we have started, because the tribunal's very existence is to improve public trust. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Rita. At this moment, let me invite the CEO, Alhaji Dr. Kadunabi Ibrahim Lubega, to make his remarks.
Can we put our hands together and thank the presenter for today? The Insurance Appeals Tribunal has helped us to know what is happening from the other end. I think what we are going to do is we should at the same time maybe invite a judge from the High Court to tell us again the analysis from what goes to the High Court. And then it will help us to guide the industry better. Really, I wanted to say that from what has been presented, there are some quick things we must, some interventions which we must do as IRA. But also to you who are doing the job, who are interacting with the people, there are things you must pick. Fundamentally, the loss assessors and adjusters, you must know you are doing a service for other people to make decisions, and you are independent. But you know what has been going on, that you know the side which has employed you, and in some instances, some reports look as if they are tending towards one side. So professionalism has to be emphasized. And also to the underwriters, it has come out clearly that when you are looking at a claim, look at all reasons to pay, not all reasons not to pay. When you do that, you'll make our work easy, and we'll all move in the same direction. I want to thank you, in the interest of time, for turning up today. Definitely, we are going to examine the report much further, and we are going to have more engagements. We have had some engagements with the loss assessors. They also want to make some presentations, so we'll have a discussion at IRA. May I declare the 65th CEO breakfast meeting officially closed. Thank you very much.